Hello, this is Simple Math for you. Our lesson today, or our video today, is to revise chapter 2, which is talking about equations in one variable. In this video, we are going to revise the following lessons: writing and interpreting equations, solving one-step and multi-step equations, solving equations with the variables on each side, solving equations involving absolute value, solving proportions, and using formulas. Part 1. أهلا بكم في Simple Math for You، وفي هذا الفيديو سنقوم بمراجعة الفصل الثاني أو الوحدة الثانية التي تتحدث عن المعادلات الخطية بمتغير واحد. وفي هذه المراجعة سنقوم بمراجعة الدروس التالية: كتابة والتعبير عن المعادلات، حل المعادلات بخطوة واحدة وبعدة خطوات، وعندما يكون متغير في الاتجاهين، وهناك أيضا المعادلات تحتوي على القيمة المطلقة، وحل التناسب، واستخدام الصيغ الرياضية. الجزء الأول. Let's start solving. Which equation represents this sentence? 4 times 4 ضرب 4 times the sum. So I will open the bracket. When you have the sum, the difference, the quotient, it's better to include it in the bracket. افتح قوس لما يكون في عندك مجموع sum. So you will have to add what and what? A number x, so x, and a number y. It is equal to 25, تساوي 25. So definitely the answer will be C. Next, what is here in question 2, match each equation to its verbal description, verbal الكلام. The product of 3 and the sum of x and y is equal to 6. The product حاصل ضرب, the product. The first side is 3. The second side is sum of x and y, and then it is equal to 6. Which one is matching with that? Definitely, as you see, C. So here, C is the first answer. B, the product of 3, so حاصل ضرب 3 times x, 3 times x, and y, so also y is multiplied by them, is equal to 6. So definitely the answer is A. Okay, next. C, the sum of مجموع 3 times x, so من جهة عندنا في 3x, and y, so the second one is y. The sum is equal to 6. So here the bracket has no meaning. يعني حطيت bracket أو ما حطيت نفس الشيء. So I will choose answer B. D, the sum of 3 من جهة 3, and the product of حاصل ضرب x and y is equal to 6. Of course, you include the bracket or without bracket, it will be the same thing, and that's why it is D. Very good. So here we revise some of the translation, ترجمة من verbal إلى equation. Write a sentence of the equation 2 plus 3n equals to 5n. There are many ways to write the sentence here. Let's choose one of them. We can say 2 plus or added to or increased by, all of them are correct, added to 3 times a number, or you can say the product of a number and 3. Is the same as, is equal to, is identical to. Five times n, or you can say product of 5 and n. We have many ways to translate that. Write an equation to represent this sentence. The difference, there is a minus sign. Twice x, So it's 2 times x or double x. هاي من جهة difference of twice x. And the other side is what? 4 times the quantity, I'll open a bracket because of the quantity, x plus y, so the quantity includes x plus y. Whenever you have quantity, you should open the bracket, is equal to 10. So we can arrange it in this nice way. And this will be our answer. Okay. Write a sentence for the below equation. Let's see what can we write here. Write a sentence. We can say 7 times, we can say the sum of the quantity of times that there is a plus here, so the sum of what and what. From one side we have 3 and the other side is 5n, which is this one, can be represented as the product of حاصل ضرب 5 and n, or a number n, equals or is equal to the product of, or you can say easier, a times n, a number n. This is a. We have many ways to translate, as we said before. Now we will move to solving. Which of the below is a solution to the equation negative 1 over 4t is equal to negative 20? We need to find t, so let's multiply by the reciprocal. Reciprocal يعني مقلوب العدد. Exactly with the same sign to cancel this fraction, and now you can multiply negative by negative positive. 20 times 4 is 80, and in this case the answer is D. The coldest temperature recorded in Alaska was around negative 80 degrees. Negative 80 degrees was recorded. This negative 80 was or is 10 degrees Fahrenheit warmer أدفأ يعني أكثر من more than the coldest temperature recorded in Siberia. Which equation can be used to find the coldest temperature recorded in Siberia? So here the temperature recorded in Siberia is not known, so we can name it T, X, Y, Z, whatever. They name it here T. We can see that they call it T, so we can say plus t because it's more than that. So in this case, we can rewrite it in a nicer way. T plus 10 is equal to negative 80. So in this case, A could be one of the possible solution, or B, as you see, A, B. But now we need to solve it, so we can subtract 10 from both sides. So t is negative 90. Or in other words, you can say if you have t plus 10 is equal to minus 80, shift the 10 to the other side, reverse the sign. So it is negative 89 minus 10 is negative 90. So in all cases, you have this as a final answer. Let's erase one of the possible ways to solve. Solve the equation 21 equals 3p minus 6. We have to get rid of that. We want the term including p alone. So 21 plus 6 is equal to 3p. So 27 is equal to 3p. Divide both sides by the 3. So p is 27 divided by 3 is 9. This is the final answer. Next, solve this equation. Remember, if you have a denominator, try to get rid of that denominator. I will rewrite the equation. To get rid of the denominator المقام نخلص منه نضرب في نفس العدد هذا to cancel. So it will be 15 plus ax is 10 times 5, which is 50. And now we want what? X alone. If you want x alone, so isolate everything including remaining the x. So I will shift this 15. So x is 35. And also remember, I need x. I need x. So I will divide by a, since x is multiplied by a. So x is 35 over a, which is this solution. Select all the equations that equivalent to 2 minus 3bx equals to 7. Assume that a does not equal to 0. Now, as you see here, we have sometimes it's solved for x, sometimes they are isolating 3bx only. So we will do it step by step and check which one is matching with one of the solutions given. Now, assume that we are here trying to solve for the variable x. So what shall we do? Step 1, I will move this 2 to the other side. It was plus 2. Remember, I put this as it is. So 7 minus 2. So minus 3bx is equal to 5, which is exactly it. So this is correct. Now, if you want to solve for x, which is this, x is multiplied by negative 3b. So I will divide by negative 3b both sides, which is matching with b. So x is 5 over negative 3b. The minus is, if it is up, down, or at the middle, it is the same. And this is equivalent to minus 5 over 3b or negative 5 over 3b. So we have two correct answers here. Perfect. A car leaves Abu Dhabi traveling at a speed of 50 miles per hour. في سيارة تركت أبو ظبي بسرعة 50 ميل في الساعة. 2 hours later, بعد ساعتين. So this is the car. Now it's going using speed 50 miles per hour. So if you don't know the time and you assume that the time is t, we know that the distance, المسافة, هي السرعة في الزمن, the velocity times that time. So it is 50 times the t that we don't know. And that here explains why the speed of the first car A was, I mean, the distance crossed by A is 50t. المسافة اللي انقطعت بالسيارة A هي 50t. طيب بعدها بساعتين, after 2 hours, يعني now here, if this is time starting here, before that, so t minus 2 is the second time, other car, which is B, started to move, traveling at a speed 60 miles per hour. So the distance here is 60 t minus 2. So this explains the t minus 2 because it moves 2 minutes later. After how much time t will two cars be the same distance from Abu Dhabi? So it means distance 1 is equal to distance 2. So all what you need to do is to solve equation for the t. If you have a bracket and the cost لازم تخلص من القوس. If you have a bracket, you need to get rid of the bracket first. So it is 60t minus 60 times 2, which is 120. Bring the 60 there. 50t minus 60t is negative 10t. Divide both sides by negative 10. And zeros go. And this means that t is 12 hours. So after 12 hours, the cars will meet. And this is choice C. Brilliant. A game designer is creating computer animation of a rectangle with sides that vary in size. The length of the rectangle is in centimeters after t seconds is given by the expression 16 minus 2t. فإذا أنت مصمم ألعاب بيصمم لعبة على شكل مستطيل وأبعادها مكتوبة عندك موجودة الطول والعرض while the width is given by the expression 1 plus t. So هذا العرض, this is the width and this is the length, الطول. The question is, after how many seconds is the rectangle a square? Square اللي هو المربع means all sides are congruent, have the same length, نفس الطول. They are equal in measure. So that means the length should equal to the width. And that means I will make two equations equal, two dimensions equal. 1 plus t is equal to 16 minus 2t. And I will solve. You should combine like terms. We have here 2t negative and t in this side, and we have the 1 and the 16. So I'll bring the negative 2t here. It becomes 2t plus equals, I'll take the 1 to the other side, so it is 16 minus 1. 1t plus 2t is 3t. 16 minus 1 is 15. Divide both sides by 3, so t is 5. So 5 seconds will be the time needed for the rectangle to be a square. A square and a rectangle have the same perimeters. Perimeter اللي هو المحيط. Perimeter is the sum. Perimeter اللي هو المحيط is the sum of all side length. مجموع الأطوال. The length of the sides of the square is 4x minus 1. So كأن عندنا rectangle and a square. The length of the side of the square is 4x minus 1. طبعا the square have all sides lengths are equal. But for the rectangle we have length 2x plus 1 طول and the width is x plus 2. Write and solve equations to find x. Okay, in this case we want the information to be summarized. Perimeters are the same. معناها perimeter of the rectangle is equal to the perimeter of the square. Let's find the perimeter of the rectangle. Perimeter of the rectangle is what? محيط المستطيل عبارة عن twice the length plus twice the width. Length مرتين والwidth مرتين. طول مرتين والعرض مرتين. So it is twice times 2x plus 1, which is given here, plus twice the width, which is given as x plus 2. And let's try to simplify. Distribute 2 times 2x, 4x, 2 times 1, 2, plus 2 times x, 2x, 2 times 2 is 4. And we have 4x plus 2x, which is 6x, and 2 plus 4 is 6. So the perimeter of the rectangle is 6x plus x. Now let's find the perimeter of the square. The perimeter of the square is what? Is the sum of all sides. If you know that all sides are the same, this is 4x minus 1, this is 4x minus 1, it's repeated 4 times. So that means I will multiply, أضرب one side length by 4, أضرب ب4. The side length of the square is 4x minus 1. So I will multiply by 4. Let's distribute. So 4 times 4x, 16x. 4 times 1 is 4. So this is the perimeter of the square. Now it says that here, given that, the perimeters are the same. So I will make them equal. So 6x plus 6 should equal to 16x minus 4. And I will start to solve this equation. You can bring the 16x here, 6x minus 16x, bring the 6 there, negative 4 minus 6, so I have negative 6x, negative 10x equals to negative 10, and when you divide both sides by negative 10, then x is 1. And this is the solution of this nice exercise. Question 14. Solve the following equation. It's a very simple equation. Start by distributing. Combine like terms. So a negative 2x is negative 40. Divide by negative 2. That means x is 20. Now let's see this question. For this question, we have, as you see, options as infinitely many solution, one solution, or no solution. On this question, for example, we have one solution only. X equals to, T equals to, R equals to. In this case, we have one solution. When can we have infinitely many solution or no solution? If you solve the equation and you end up of two numbers only without any variable, انت حليت وطلع لك بس متغيرات بدون اي طلع لك عفوا بس ارقام بدون متغيرات، يعني مثلا طلع لك 3 equals to 6 or 0 equals to 0 or negative 2 equals to 2. ما في متغير. اذا في الحاله you need only to check، بس تتاكد تتحقق هل النتيجه هاي صحيحه. So for example, if you have this at the end, this end, is this true? Of course, this is false. This is always false. That means you will have no solution, or we can say it's phi, empty set. 3 equals to 6 is definitely wrong, so no solution also. You will never have a solution that satisfies the equation. Also, we have here 0 equals to 0, which is always true. This is always right. So in this case, you will have infinitely many solution, or we call it identity. Identity because the right side hand is identical to the left hand side. Identity أو infinitely many solution أو عدد لا نهائي من الحلول لما يكون الطرفين متساويين. Let's check here. Even without solving, you can check that if you shift the m here, it will not be cancelled. It will be negative m minus m, which is negative 2m. It seems there is a solution. That means directly without solving, you will have one solution. طبعا you can solve to check, but definitely you will be able to do that mentally. Now, for this exercise, also you can mentally know that it will have no solution, because if you distribute, it will be 7x, and this one will be 35, while the other side has 7x plus 5. Cancel the 7x from each side or subtract 7x using the subtraction property of equality. You will end up with two numbers that are never equal, and that means it has no solution. The last exercise, you need a little bit to be careful. When you distribute, it's 3t, 3 times 2 is 6, equals to, this has nothing to do with that. This is added to the bracket. It's not distributed. So you will put the bracket as it is and add the 4. Remember, it's not multiplication. Now, it will be 3t plus 6, and you have 2 plus 4, which is 6 here, plus 3t. Are they the same? They are exactly the same. They are identical. Right? We have 6 plus 3t, but everyone knows that there is a commutative property. إبدالي الجمع إبدالي يعني 3t plus 6 هي نفسها 6 plus 3t. So this is always true. The right hand side is equal to the left hand side. Also, you can say that this cancel this cancel that. You end up with 0 equals to 0. In both cases, you will say that we have infinitely many solutions. عدد لا نهائي من الحلول. Let's solve this one. distribute, you can say that these are exactly the same. So you have 10 minus 2n equals to 2. Take the 10 to the other side. Negative 2n is equal to 2 minus 10. Negative 2n is negative 8. Divide by negative 2. So n is equal to 4. Negative راحت مع negative. And this will be 4. Okay, let's check this question. Solve. Remember, there is a minus sign here. كأنها minus 1. يعني you multiply negative 1 by x, negative x. Negative 1 by negative 1. It's positive 1. يعني الماينس sign تعكس إشارات كل شيء. It reverses the signs over there. So it will be x plus 1. Cancel the 1 from here and there. You have negative x equals to x. Bring the x to the other side. Negative x minus x is equal to 0. Negative 1x, 1 we don't write it, but it's there. So negative 2x is 0. If you divide by negative 2, you will end up with 0. 0 divided by any number is 0. 0 is a solution. It's not no solution. 0 is a number. Which of the following linear equation has no solution? As we said, we are looking for equations to be solved. After that, you find out that there is no variable. So if you think about it, if you shift this x there, it will be x plus x, يعني 2x. And this goes there, minus 3 is minus 6. It has a solution. So this is not possible. While here, for example, x goes with x, you end up with two different numbers. Directly, you can say no solution. So no need to check the rest. But let's check the rest here. If you check here, x goes with x, 3 equals to 3, it's always true. That means the solution is infinitely many solution, or we call it identity. This one is the same as part A, so it will have one solution. So mentally, if you have multiple choice question, you can directly choose the correct one without solving. Which of the following linear equation has infinitely many solutions? We checked it just now. This is obviously the solution because you have two identical parts, two identical sides. The right-hand side is exactly equal to the left-hand side. And this will be the last question in this part. Which values can A and B take so that the equation is an identity? Identity means has solution or real numbers. Let's write the equation or try to solve it here. 6x plus 15 is equal to, we have x here multiplied by a, so it's ax, x times 2, 2x, plus b. Let's try to combine like terms. We have here 6x, and we will bring ax, and we will bring also 2x, minus 2x. To the other side, you will have b, and the 15 also goes there, negative 15. Now, 6x minus 2x is 4x. So 4x minus ax is equal to b minus 15. I will take x as a common factor here. مشتركة x. And I will have 4 minus a is equal to b minus 15. Now, let's look here at the options given. When can we have identity? To have identity, that means this side should equal to this side. And this side should be 0 because we will not need the variable. So that means here 4 minus a should be equal to 0. And that means a is definitely 4. Right? And that side should be the same as the right-hand side. Left-hand side and right-hand side should be the same. So b minus 15 should also is equal to 0. So b is equal to 15 here. So that means a equals to 4 and b equals to 15. Remember, no variable should exist if you have identity or infinitely many solution. So that means here is 4 and B is 15. This is the detailed solution, and this is end of part 1 for this revision. See you in part 2 in the next video. إلى اللقاء.